All right, so we're back for another interview for the lovely rock show that we got going on Sunday nights here on the Motor City Riffs. I've actually been playing this band for several months now. Very proud to actually have them on for an interview. Jason, thanks for actually reaching out and commenting on all of our stuff all the time. So that's kind of what got the ball rolling here. I got Jason and I have Jerry here from The Lion Within. Pretty kick-ass rock band that has, like, obviously you guys been doing it for a while. Guys, how's it going today?
Things are going good.
Now, I've heard you guys are.
Things are great. We've
Yeah. Oh, I think we got some video problem there for a second. You guys are out in the recording studio tonight. Is that what I heard right?
tonight we were having a rehearsal. Our last rehearsal before our show on Friday. We got a big show on Friday, the Michigan May Music Festival over at Diesel in Chesterfield, Michigan, on the Premier Lane. So yeah, we're headlining that event, and tonight we were just kind of going over things, just make sure everything's make sure our bolts are nice and snug, and make sure everything's good to go, and more just going over light things, and more of a morale booster. It's almost like the pep rally before the football game kind of thing. The practice before the show.
Gotcha. Yeah, I gotta air out all the kinks and stuff like that just in case, right? No, that's awesome.
Wow, exactly. And it's just,
Um, yeah, sorry to keep cutting you off there. I think like it's our audio's a little behind, so let me just go right into it then. So you guys said, did I catch you said you were headlining that event on Friday?
yeah, we're headlining the event. Um, it's two stages, and there's a theater stage and there's a lounge stage, and we're headlining the theater stage. We'll be on at 10:30,
Okay.
and I want to say there's 8 to 10 bands on the bill. There's a lot of bands on the bill, a lot of great bands. I mean, all the bands sound great. We played a show with Raging Psychos, who just got on the bill recently. We played a show with them at the Token a while back, and I'm really looking forward to hearing Darkhawk. I've checked out some of their stuff online, and they have a real strong image, and their music is really cool. So definitely looking forward to hearing what they're about too. And there's, I think there's a band called Girthquake. I saw a little bit about them. They seem like they're really good. There's a number of bands. Tangerine Time Machine. Actually, I know them from way back in the day. The singer. So they're good too. Very talented band. And there's more too. I don't remember all of them offhand, but that's a few of them. But it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a really fun night of just modern rock. Modern rock, maybe a little punk here and there, a little bit of everything for somebody. Something for everybody.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great thing for all the fans to head out to, of course, Friday night. I actually think it's pretty cool that not a lot of people remember, or I guess realize that, yeah, you guys are out here in a rock band, but you're all music fans. Like you're going to the show too. Yeah, you're playing, but you're listening to all these groups, jamming out just like all the other fans out there in the crowd. So like that's what we do as DJs too. I mean, we play the music, but we love listening to it and going to all the shows too and meeting people. That's like the best part for me. Girthquake, actually, I've actually played them on our show before, Motor City Riff. So I know I saw the bill. I previewed it before I started talking to you guys, and I was like, Girthquake. I played them a couple of times, and I've it was this Darkhawk or Nighthawk, Night Darkhawk. I've heard of them, but I haven't gotten them on a show. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I was gonna tell you if my birthday is on Friday, so I got a whole thing planned already. If I wasn't doing that, I probably would have had to take you up on that offer and meet you guys down there for Chesterfield.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you, thank you. Um, Let me. Oh, I'm gonna jump into the next topic though, because you guys aren't just playing this Friday. You got a lot of stuff happening. I looked at your guys' 2025 show schedule. You got a lot of things happening. But even this month, you got something happening. What is it? You have Corktown Music Festival, the end of April. Is that what you guys are playing as well? Or did I have the wrong info?
Yeah. Actually, no. You're right. Yeah, we've got a Corktown Music Festival. going on. Let me see. I actually have my list here of all the stuff going on because I was like I had to think ahead because I can't remember it off the top of my head either.
Sure.
Know. But yeah, we're playing at the Cork Tavern. Why don't you tell me a little about the Corktown Tavern, Jerry, while I look this up?
Oh, one of those places that's been I mean, people go to Corktown. That's aside from like the Lager House, and that's one of the places that's been there a while. I've been to two shows there. First time, this will be my first time actually playing there, though. I've always gone there to see friends. So the stage is upstairs there. So
yeah, we're playing Saturday, April 26th at the Corktown Tavern for the Corktown Music Festival. And the thing that's cool about this event is that all of the proceeds go to Helping Passenger, which is a benefit nonprofit that helps musicians that are in recovery from addiction and things like that. So not only is it like a whole night of great music, but it also for a good cause. So yeah, so we're going to be I want to say 10:30 at the Corktown Tavern or the Corktown Music Festival. So it's kind of easy to remember the whole Corktown theme. So you could get bracelets for that. Just like five. I want to say five, but you can go from venue to venue to venue and check out all the bands, And I mean, there's like I want to say like a lineup of at least 6 bands all playing at 5 different venues. So you have the option to check out 30 different bands just on Saturday alone, and it's also going on Friday the night before too. So definitely a cool event going on there. We got to give it up to Scott Boltman. Boatwright, thank you. Very good because he always keeps me on track. Scott Boatwright for putting this whole thing together and having us. This will be our second time. Great bands, some of the best and most diverse bands from the Detroit area are involved in this. So there's once again, there's a lot of different music for everybody. So definitely come on down. That's that's Saturday, April 26th.
Awesome.
The Corktown Tavern.
Awesome. I love the part about you guys saying about the benefits, especially for you said it was like artists like struggling with addiction and things like that. It's always cool to be a part of something like that. I mean, at least in my opinion, it's always cool to. I mean, yeah, you're playing music, but when it means something too behind the already meaning of what you have music wise, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I actually got to ask you, kind of moving into your own music in that kind of regard, and meaning and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, if you've sent some stuff to me, I played it several times. Could always use some more music, by the way. But I know the track Too Many Lies always caught my attention. Maybe not because I've necessarily been in a relationship like that, but everyone knows someone who has someone like that where, you got deceit, all the crummy things that happen like that. Is there any specific inspiration behind that song, or who got broken? No, I'm just kidding. But tell me a little bit about some of your music and what that kind of stuff means to you.
You want me to start calling out names? I can't. No,
Delilah.
no. I would say Too Many Lies. Right, yeah. Too Many Lies is kind of like I would say it's a combination of a lot of different events that I've probably been through in my life. I don't want to say it's about any one person in general. Like you might be able to say like every sentence might be like attributed to like a different relationship or situation. But and it's not just about relationships too. I mean, most of it is, but not all of it is. Because there's also been a lot of situations with people where they're just lying to you. You know what I mean? They're about manipulating and trying to trick you and trying to play you and use you for their agendas and things like that. And I think it's the kind of song that most people can relate to at least in some way. It was actually the first song that I wrote for this band back in during the pandemic when plans for this were in the works before we even knew if we'd be able to play at venues anymore. I spent that whole time just songwriting. I was holed up writing. Wrote like about 30 songs, and yeah, it was the first one. Too Many Lives was the first one that came out. So I don't know what that says. It's the first song that I wrote. It just made sense to be the first single. But yeah, I think a lot of it is the great thing about a song like that. I think it's great for people to take their own interpretation of it too. I've had a lot of friends and a lot of fans listen to it and be like, "Oh, this one goes out to my ex," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," it's something I feel a lot of people can relate to. A lot of people have been through some shady situations. So, our songs, lyrically, they just come straight from my heart. I just write. I mean, I'm really transparent how my brain works. Just read our lyrics. And, you'll learn a whole lot more about me.
Well, I mean, you can certainly tell in music like that. I mean, it's always better when it's more raw emotion and story in your actual lyrics and writing the story, the song and all that kind of stuff like that. I mean, performance is one thing; you're always going to kill it with the performance, but the lyrics do mean something too, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not the only song. Obviously, I noticed that on there are a lot of other ones you got. The other two that you sent me. I know Starblind is like the. Is that still your latest single? I know we haven't talked in a minute.
Starblind is still our latest single.
Okay.
However, we have a song that is done. It is recorded. We've had it since last November of 2024, but we've been kind of sitting on it because of the timing of everything. We really didn't want to release it during the holidays because
Okay.
most people, they're wrapped up with Christmas, they're wrapped up with New Year's. Um, in the industry, it's kind of not the best time to release new music. Holding on to it, and actually, we're talking about doing the official video for it probably in May, fingers crossed, and trying to get it out by like early summer. So, yes, we do have new material coming. It's called Slither So Slow. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. It is, I want to say, it's kind of like the, it's almost like Stone Temple Pilots for change and kind of like how they evolve. It's a little bit like kind of like our tiny music, without sounding like Stone Temple Pilots, if you get what
Sure.
I'm saying. It's got like it's still got a heavy edge to it, but I think it almost like I don't want to say pop, but maybe a little bit more of a full edge to it too. So it's still a little bit commercial edge. So
That's not a bad thing.
yeah, but hopefully that'll yeah. But
I guess.
Starblind, yeah, Starblind. The lyrics of that.
I say sorry about that. Tell me more about Starblind. Yeah, I know you were kind of finishing your thought there.
Starblind lyrically is it's it's another song. That's actually the second song. And the thing about Starblind is it was written during the pandemic, during 2020, and really what that song was about was partially about wondering if we need to be able to be in a position to play music again. Like as far as play live, like in music venues with the crowds, having gatherings of people to hear music and everything. And you know, that was a bit of the inspiration for the lyrics of that. Of trying to be the best you can be, the best version of yourself, and not comparing yourself too much to other people who you feel might be doing um, well or better than you, or things like that, and letting that get to you to a point where it stifles you. Because sometimes that happens. People, I don't guitar players. I know where they just the guitar players they like, and I can never. I can. I can. And I think right there, you're selling yourself short. Because I look at it like, well, somebody else is doing it. Why can't you? You know what I mean? Um, so it's really about that. The idea of being blind, being blind to the stars out there, so to speak. Not showing yourself short and not where you even have a chance to give it a chance. So that's really what Starblind's mostly.
Gotcha. Huh. That's
Mostly
pretty awesome,
inspirational
actually.
song.
Knowing all that extra information, that's all pretty cool. I can't lie to you. I heard you kind of do a little bit of, I was going to say a little bit of propping yourself up slightly there. Let's move into my next topic here about your guitar playing and how I saw on Facebook that you were named the rock star. You got a rock star of the month award from a radio station out here in Michigan. Does that sound about right? It's okay. You can talk good about yourself here.
Oh, yeah. Angela Green, she runs a station and an internet station, and I was named Rock Star of the Month for March 2025. And the great thing about what she does is she plays a lot of independent music just like you do, on the show, and it's like people like you and people like her that are spreading the music that's independent. It helps out immensely, I mean, um, so she, was sharing music and her show and things like that. Not all of her posts on Facebook, she'd include me and she'd share my posts and she'd share things like that. And yeah, I'm thankful. I can't say enough. Like thanks, it's kind of out of the blue. I'm like, oh, cool.
Like, whoa, that
So
kind of
yeah,
inspires me maybe to
yeah, I was like, oh,
come up with something on Motor City Riffs like that. I don't know. It's not like there's any rules. Like I can't just give out some award, but I might have to start something along those lines. And I don't know if I do the week or the month or something. I'll cook something up for sure. Now I'm inspired by that post, so definitely something I'll have to start along those lines. I got one more thing for you guys. One more question for you, and then I want you guys to tell me all about anything you want to say to the fans. I want to know inspiration, how you guys came to be. I mean, tell me a little about your origin. I mean, I know it's, at least to me, you kind of have that like '90s grunge, like metal type feel to some of your songs. I don't know if that's what you were going for. That was some of the inspiration, or entirely different. Like, tell me a little bit about it.
okay. That's a great question. That really is a great question because it's one that for a musician, it really, at least for me, and I'm sure Jerry, it makes us think. Like um, when we started writing, I, I can't say that there was a specific sound or like aiming to go for. It was more like, and still to this day with the songs we're writing, it's more like, hey, what pops into our brains, like and it just kind of comes out, and we work on it and see how it transpires. Um, but you know, we've been compared to some interesting things, and I mean, I love hearing it all. Probably one of my favorites was Chris Cornell meets Godsmack. I, I take that as a huge compliment. Um, maybe I've heard Seether, kind of like your post grunge bands, like the early 2000s kind of things, or even your grunge bands in general. As a vocalist, I really do like the grunge singers like Chris Cornell, as I mentioned. Lane Staley's one of my favorites, and Scott Weiland, Stone Temple Pilots. Um, Another favorite, of course, is Freddie Mercury, probably my favorite. But his voice is just so unique, and the guy's just so immensely talented that I feel like it's more of like a subconscious influence because trying to sing like him, he's like, I mean, he's one of a kind. So, so we kind of just write what comes to us, what's in our hearts, and I think like vocally, I mentioned like what I'm into musically, guitar wise. So I'm kind of on the other end. I'm kind of like an '80s baby when it comes to guitar. I love like to me that's like the golden era of guitar, like the '80s. I love stuff like early Metallica, like like Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning era Metallica, or early Megadeth like Peace Out, um, stuff like that. But I also really like a lot of hair metal too. I love like the guitar solos of hair metal. A lot of hair metal. So I mean, really, if if you kind of take all that and combine it, I think that's kind of what you end up getting from us. It's like what would happen if you had a band that played like thrash 80s metal, hair metal, and like grunge, and put it in a blender. You might get something kind of like
Align with it.
But none of it is pre-planned. We're not like, oh, we want to stop. Yes, we're the line with it, and that's what you get. Jerry, what are some of your influences?
Uh, Playing wise, like, Lemmy is a big influence. I'm a huge Motorhead fan. Playing wise, though, I'd say the biggest band I play with is Jesus Butler. Because I've always been into the Sabbath, all the eras of Sabbath too, not just the Ozzy era or the Dio era. I've been even the later years when it was just Tony Iommi, basically. I mean, there was actually some pretty good music that came out during that time, which is kind of flew under the radar. But yeah, like Sabbath and Motorhead. And I was also a big Sex Pistols fan back in the day too.
Yeah, Jerry adds kind of like kind of like a raw edge to our sound. A drummer isn't here now, but I can tell you some of the stuff he was into. I know he's really into Mike Manor, who played with Dream Theater for a minute, and he really likes what's his name? Okay, he likes stuff that's a little bit outside of the rock realm,
Sure.
but he applies it to like music, and it's actually kind of cool combination because it's stuff that you wouldn't necessarily expect. I know he likes a lot of 70s rock that might be called today yacht rock. He likes a lot of that stuff. But if you listen to some of the drummers, I mean, they are phenomenal. They've got a groove, they've got a style, they play for the song, and that's definitely something that I really appreciate about bands drumming. Play for the song, but he can against almost any drummer, as far as technique goes too. And I can play for the song and play like, a drum hook or what makes the song the best. But there are songs like in Starblind, after my solo, he does some fun drum things that, you can really hear his technique out a little bit too. And that's what I put in our song
Sure.
is we write for the song, try to well, here's a little music moment, provide it, keep things interesting too, but not overdo it for people as well. Balance. We're all about trying to keep balance and write songs that we enjoy ourselves too. Yeah, I'd say that sums it up.
Yeah, of course. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually pretty psyched that you said 80s hair metal. I am like 80s hair metal, like even though I'm literally born in 98, 80s hair metal is what I grew up with though. All 80s hair metal. My mom, honestly, my dad's more into like 70s stuff. My mom's crazy about 80s hair metal. So I mean, every band that came out in that 15-year like time span, nah, it's still on my playlist to this day since I was like 5, 6 years old. So, and I can definitely tell there's some inspiration, but inspiration doesn't have to be emulating. That's what I think a lot of people might hear when someone asks that question. That's not what I meant. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I guess last thing I want to ask you guys is if you have anything else you want to add to the fans, anything else you want to promote, any new music, shows, anything. I mean, floor is yours.
Thanks, Chef. Oh, where do we start? That's a dangerous thing to do. We have a lot to say. Well, first and foremost, we want to thank, all of our friends, all of our fans, everybody that has been awesome enough to support us, come to our shows, buy our merch. Yes, I think that's a beautiful thing. Wear our merch, not just buy, but wear it. The shares on Facebook, sharing our posts and playing our music on Spotify. All these things help, spread the word. Even if you just like the band's post, it helps put it out there in other people's feeds, and spreads the word. Or commenting is even better. So anybody that's done any of these things, we definitely appreciate you, and we're very, very thankful for you. Because ultimately look out for yourselves. And as fun as that can be, it's nice to share the music with people and have a community and have the energy reciprocation. And we play, and the audience gets it, and the audience gives it back to us, and it's just this circle, and it just turns to a frenzy of music. So thank you is the first thing, first and foremost. We'd like to thank our producers, I should say, plural, that have produced our songs, and Tim Paddlin, who also plays a bunch. The brothers Paddlin, amazing guys, and they produced all of our songs, and we recorded with them, and we record all our songs at the Loft. I dare say, huh? Yeah, I was going to say, I dare say our new song that we're about to release may have been one of the last songs recorded at the Loft. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but the Loft in Saline, Michigan, owned by the Paddlin brothers, burned down about a month and a half, 2 months ago, by a freak fire. So I guess they're rebuilding it and everything. But our song might have been the last song before that happened. But so I want to thank the Paddlin brothers. They've worked with Ted Brick, Sponge, obviously Taproot, and for them to take the time to work with us is, very humbling. So we're very thankful for their talents, because they are musical geniuses when it comes to music and producing. So, oh yeah. Other things, we've got a bunch of shows coming up. As far as for people, different states too. We're working on a small little tour. Probably one of the big highlights of what we got coming up for this year, in California. We're playing at the world famous whiskey. So we're going to be there on what is that? November 13th. Yeah, November 13th. November 13th, and we're going out with Tantric. So we're going to be playing out with Tantric over there in Hollywood, California. So
nice.
Yeah, we're flying out. That's we're really excited about. We do advance tickets for that. So if you want to get them now, if even if you want to buy some and call it charity towards us, that would be great. Like what would you call that? A tip. Buy them. Hey, it all helps us tremendously. But it's going to be in California around that time. We're also going out to, let me see, I got my whole list of shows here. Let me see. We're going to be heading out to the Maple Grove Tavern in Maple Heights, Ohio, which is right outside of Cleveland. That's going to be July 25th. And then that same weekend, we're heading out to Erie, Pennsylvania, to the Voodoo Brewing Company, Erie, Pennsylvania, Saturday, July 26th. And I'm right in the middle of negotiations actually to play a show at the Forge in around the Pittsburgh area. So that's probably August. So we're working on putting together, so getting out of town a little bit too. And we got a few more around the hometown, but for now, we want to really focus on this Friday. We're going to be in Chesterfield, Michigan, for the Michigan Mayhem Youth Festival, headlining that at 10:30. So definitely that's something to come on out to if you are in Michigan or not. You can fly here. There's still time. Get in a plane, get tickets. You can fly on out. You can do it.
You have the technology.
Yes,
you have the technology.
I'll be sure to spread the word on that one too.
We're very thankful for. Other than that, we want to thank our endorsements that we've been working with. Warnstar. We've been with Warnstar for a long time. Warnstar Clothing, out in Arizona now, and who else? We got Kananaki and Guitars that I've been endorsed by since June. Very thankful for them. They're always sharing our posts and sharing what we're up to. Who else? We just signed up with a new endorsement. W Energy Drinks. I just partnered with these as a first. So get them guitar strap. Virginia Cast. So very, very, very thankful for the Get 'em guitar straps. Amazing company. Used by everybody from Prince, Metallica, you name it. And SIT Strings just signed up with them as well. Another company I mean, used by guys like Billy the Dead Man, Megadeth, um, you name it. A lot of big bands. So I'm very, very thankful, very honored that these companies have put their faith in us as far as representing their brands and everything. So and helping us do what we do. Amazing product. So definitely great. And last thing but not least, definitely if you get a chance, please check out our music. We're on all the socials. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Spotify. Definitely please go check us out on Spotify. The Lion Within. You can find all of it on our website, www.thelionwithinmusic.com. That's our big hub. You can find anything there as far as videos on YouTube, pictures, a file, everything. That's definitely the place, the hub to see anything. If you have any questions or want to know anything about what we're up to, we keep it very up to date. Definitely hope you find us on Facebook because we respond to everybody that we possibly humanly can and try and forge those real friendships and real connections. If you comment on our stuff, we will respond to it. If we possibly love to talk with you and have real life human experience, instead of just like people liking our posts. We hope that you can and you will. So that said, we hope that you make it out to one of our shows, and we'd love to see you. And we definitely want to thank you, Nate, for having us on the show and playing us and helping spread the word and playing our music. That's a huge thing to us. I mean, it's right here. So thank you, Nate. We definitely appreciate you and Riff and everything. You guys are amazing and love what you do for music in general all around. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, no, thank you for just putting out killer music, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jerry. It was great talking to you guys. And yeah, I'm going to put a Facebook post out so all the listeners here can get to your show on Friday out in Chesterfield, okay? So I'll spill all the details on that. I saw your post. I'll reshare it so they all can see it. But thanks for talking so much tonight, guys, and good luck on Friday, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything, Nate.